Coming up, I'm going to be telling you everything that's arrived on Disney Plus today, plus an update on Miss Marvel. But before we get into any of that, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's Friday, it's time to jump into some of today's big Disney Plus news. So obviously with it being Friday, we got some new releases. In the United States and around the world, we got a brand new Disney Plus original, a documentary looking at how they made the Nora and also 20-something Spark shorts. Now this one is called A Spark Story, about 90 minutes long. Haven't got around to watching it yet, but it's going to be on my watch list for the weekend. Are you going to be checking it out? Are you interested in the behind the scenes stuff? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Moving on to some of the library content in the United States, they got two movies. They got Spooky Buddies and they also saw the return of Fault in Our Stars. While in the UK, they got a number of new National Geographic documentaries and some films, including Spin and also Broken Arrow, which I kind of have the kind of thing with that one. I always enjoy that one. It shouldn't, but it is kind of fun. It's a bit naff, but I still like that one there. Not much library content dropping around in like Australia and in Canada today, but there's going to be some great content coming next week for those places. But yeah, just nice to see lots of content arriving. Let's now move on to Miss Marvel. According to Variety, they have confirmed that Miss Marvel will not be coming to Disney Plus in 2021 like they had previously announced. It's going to be slipping into early 2022. Not a huge surprise with this. Kind of expected this. I think once we kind of started finding out about Hawkeye dropping in November, it kind of made sense. Technically, there was like a 6-week window from when What If to Hawkeye. But it was really going to squash it in. And then if they throw in Shang-Chi and also a couple of making of documentaries as well, that kind of fills in that time. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think actually having a little bit of a break is not a bad thing for us all to have. We have been absolutely spoilt with MCU content this year. I mean, you think we've had all these different series, we've had all these movies, and we've still got more to come. So I actually don't think that's a bad thing. According to Bob Chapek during a recent Q&A, he did say that there's not as much stuff available in the winter as they were hoping because of just the Delta variant and just not getting things filmed. So that kind of makes sense to me, of just kind of pushing that one back a little bit. And that might slide into like the WandaVision slot of last year. But then it could also run right through maybe till March, depending on what they've got scheduled for next year and how everything is going. Not to say it's good, but it kind of makes sense. I was expecting it. Moving on from there, let's talk now about some Star Hulu news. We've got it confirmed that the Orville is going to be returning for a third season on Thursday, the 10th of March, 2022. So a while to go on that one there. We kind of had a little teaser trailer for that on there. So this is going to be moving over to Hulu from Fox, and then we should end up seeing it arrive internationally as a Star original. I'm really looking forward to this one. They've just added seasons 1 and 2 here in the United Kingdom onto Disney Plus, and that's kind of my next binge set that I want to kind of get into. I love Star Trek and Star Wars and stuff like that, so should definitely be checking this one out. And finally, we've got an update on a brand new Disney Plus original movie called Chang Can Dunk. The movie will star Bloom Lee, who is a young Asian American 16-year-old teenager and a massive basketball fan, who is constantly marginalised and not a popular high school kid and a wannabe basketball player who becomes obsessed with the idea of learning to dunk in the effort to best the school's basketball star Matt and also hopefully win the admiration of a very pretty Kirsty. According to the Connecticut Post, filming is set to begin next month at the Brunel High School. Walt Disney Studios are planning on shooting some scenes during their Cavalcade of Bands, which is going to be taking place in the middle of October, and they also have plans to use the school's marching band and athletic facilities in the movie. Disney seem to love making sports movies. They're obviously cheap to make as well. I'll wait and see what this one's like. I've got to be honest, based on what I've heard so far, not really for me. I'm really not that interested in basketball, but I know there's a big market for it, especially in the United States. But what do you think of this brand new Disney Plus original movie? Hopefully it'll be arriving, I would imagine maybe about a year's time if they get it filmed over the winter, barring there's not any issues. But let me know what you're going to be watching over the weekend on Disney Plus. I'll be back on Monday with a brand new episode of Disney Plus News. And over the weekend, I'll be doing a brand new podcast with me and James. We'll be talking about our thoughts on some of this week's new Disney Plus original and Star originals. We'll also be talking about Disney Plus Day announcements and much more. And then on Sunday night, I'll be doing my live Q&A. And on that note, guys, thank you very much. See you guys soon. Later. I'd like to thank all of our Patreon and YouTube channel members for their support. You can become a member from as little as $2 a month and you get access to our weekly Q&A and much more.